The Kulwin line, now known as the Sea Lake line, is basically a next-door neighbour to the Robinvale line, with the line being 104 years old since the opening of the line to its closure. There's some things to discuss.
The line first started off a switch during the Robin Line's construction at Corongvale. It first went to Wycheproof around 1883 and extended to Sea Lake in 1893, to Nandali in 1914, to Mityak in 1919, and finally reaching Kulwin in 1920. The Kulwin line was accessed by the Inglewood to Eaglehawk line via Bridgewater. However, in 1888 the Inglewood to Dunolly line was opened for service, thus meaning the railway could connect to its next door neighbour of the Mildura line, which was still being constructed at the time.
Like many of Victoria's lines, it was a single broad gauge line. Stations on the line were Corongvale, being the start, Charlton, Teddyweddy, Wycheproof, Warren, Berrywillock, Boygbeat, Sea Lake, Nandali, Peermillan, Mityak and Kulwin, to name a few, with a frequent rail motor and freight train service to Kulwin.
Fortunately, this wouldn't stay forever. During the 60s and 70s, the Victorian Railways were not doing their best, and were closing many of their lines to passengers, or closing them altogether. The Kulwin line was one of the many lines that closed during the late 70s, with the last rail motor service to Kulwin finishing on the 7th of May 1977. Freight trains would roam the whole line for the rest of the 20th century after that.
After the Kulwin's railroad service being suspended in 1977, some stuff has happened way after. In 2010, sand drifts caused the section between Sea Lake and Kulwin to close. After that, the Murray Basin Rail project was announced in 2014 and started their process around the next year. Phase 3 was to standardise the Mangatang and now Sea Lake line. However, this has not happened yet, and with the Murray Basin Rail project being put on hold a few years ago, has caused the chance of the Manangatang line to close. This risk might happen soon if the two lanes are not standardised soon.
Although the project has briefly come back to life, and hopefully soon, issues surrounding the project can finally be resolved and no lines would close to this. Now, one of the most asked questions would be if the line would reopen to passengers, and that answer would be no, absolutely not. Even if you consider reopening the Eaglehawk line, which would reopen Bridgewater to maybe, and Inglewood, I doubt the government would invest in reopening the whole line to passengers, especially considering that the Murray Basin Rail project has already risked the Manangatang line's closure. And with other things such as many sleepers not being replaced, it'd be unpractical to open the Sea Lake line to passengers. But there's also other ways this could be done. But even then, it wouldn't make much of a difference.
As of today, the Sea Lake line is a freight-only line with not-to-schedule trains. Once a railway line for passengers, now reduced to a freight line. And that's the end of the Kulwin railway line video. I hope you enjoyed and was patient with a new video. And also subscribe to Victorian Transport History for helping me on this video. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video, which hopefully will not be 3 months.